Right, so mine is going to be completely different. Mine's actually going to be based more on delivery rather than we're talking about marketing, we're talking about mindset. I'm going to be very blunt. As Casey said, you do not need a massive following to make really good money. I've worked 2 days a week while working in the fire service, doing 30, 40K months. It's not that fucking difficult. It's based on if the service is good. If the service is good, you will make a lot of fucking money, and it's not tough. So accountability overdrive. So if we start with the why behind it and keep just, it's going to be quick slides, so I can even do it because it'll be fucking fast. Just let me see here. If we start with the why, right, and we firstly look at it, this isn't reinventing the wheel, right? This is the bare bones and the bare minimum of it. There's too much focus on content, right? Majority of people aren't fucking nailing. Yeah, I'll flick. Let me have it. There's too much focus on content where there's not enough focus on actually fucking delivering a coaching service. And I really mean this. Like, when I look at people's results and I see a before and after, it shouldn't need fucking labeled. You shouldn't have to go, that's the before, that's the after. It should be clear. Now, not everybody's target demographic is photo shoots, but the results should be very, very there. Do you know what I mean? It should be, there's no focus on delivery. It's like, Joe, imagine ordering off Deliveroo and really fancy website and really good price and really good sale and nothing fucking comes. It doesn't make any difference. What do you get if you have good results, good service, good retention, right? Like anybody, what do you think if you have that? Bingo. Anything else? Bingo. Bingo. Spot on, right? A great business that fucking markets itself. Like, I done nothing when I was in the first year. I just posted, here's a result, and just money, freedom, no fucking effort. What's the exact opposite of that? If you break down so you have bad results, bad service, bad retention, the exact opposite, right? You're all marketing, you're all content, you're all show, you're all front end, but your back end, your service is shit. It's hard to sell, right, in the first place because you're not getting referrals. And if you do sell it, right, and this is me being very, very fucking blunt, they don't stay. If anybody's bleeding client, if your client's staying 3 months, you can tell me all you want, your service is good. It's shit. Simple as that. Because the person should go, I need to stay. There is going to be clients, though, that family issues come up. There is, like, not everybody's going to stay. But we're talking here, if I go, what's your average retention rate? Like, how long does the average person stay? Now, there is going to be people that stay 3 months. That's all right. That's fine. They're going to do that. But we're talking we want at least 70% staying a year plus. If not, you are bleeding clients for fucking no reason. And you can go, oh, I'm new, I'm this or that. You're not important enough. You're not a big enough difference in that life. Like, I want you to turn around and that client to be like, right, I have expenses. That's not an expense. That's like my mortgage. That's how fucking important that person is in my life. If you're not that important, you ain't gonna last. That's as simple as it is. You need to be on standby with that person when they need you the most. And that's why building not just a coaching relationship, an actual relationship with a client where they can reach out to you on a bad day. Because, for example, a lot of the time, and I'll be straightforward, like, for example, like, Liam had something going on, message me, and we had a bit of back and forth. It was just a little bit extra. It wasn't that major. But I can guarantee you, if he was considering leaving, that one, like, small bit of extra conversation probably massively helped, wouldn't it? Versus all the slides and everything. That's not important. But he felt comfortable enough going, right, what would you do with this? Let's have it. And it wasn't like, oh, I know everything. It was just like being there, being an actual good person. It's like meeting somebody for a coffee. And that is the key with really going forward. And if you think about it, if your client stays 18 months V6, right, and you break this down, ignore why the one is like that. Me and Stephen tried to fix that one for fucking ages. It's the font, does my tits in. If you have somebody that stays 18 months V6, right, you need 3 times less sales. That's 3 times less calls. That's 3 times less hassle. That's fucking 3 times way less effort. And it's just one of them things where it means that you need less leads and the person stays longer. And see your longer term clients. If anybody's ever had a client stay over a year or 2 years, being brutally honest, they're fuck all work. They're so easy. You can cope with so much more. That's how I've been able to cope with over 200 clients at stages. Because if 150 of them are in their second year, they're just checking and getting changes and going sound because they already got faith in you. So we actually want to change your mindset from acquisition to retention. If you kept every client that ever came in to your business for 18 months, you'd all be making 100 grand. You'll make 100 grand. If you haven't had that many, in no time, it fucking turbocharges it. When I hear people doing 12 weeks, 8 weeks, I'm just like, what the fuck? And if your service is shit, you can't sell it twice. The person's never coming back. A lot of my clients that leave after 2 years disappear for a year, and then they come back for another 3. They come back. So that's how you know. So if you're starting to think, well, fuck, do you know what? My clients aren't staying that long. There's something off. And see, simply asking them, they're not going to tell you. Like, for example, if you go to a restaurant and the meal's shit, do you get up and go to the waiter? That was fucking terrible, mate. That was absolute shit. You go, thanks very much, it was great. You leave, and then you tell everyone else once you leave the restaurant, don't go there, that was fucking shit. Everything. So you need to remember all them conversations are going on without you realizing it. They're all around the dinner tables. They're all around. Like, how many of you be honest, how many of you have had a chat about me and Stephen? Everybody in the fucking room. You've had a conversation whether you've been delivered to enough, whether you've not, what it is, have they went the extra mile. Them conversations go on about you all the fucking time. And most people think, yeah, it doesn't really matter. I'll not reply to that client. You know, it's Saturday night. I'll edit my content. That person is paying you. The customer in the shop is more important than the customer fucking looking and licking the window. Straightforward as. And if we have poor accountability, we have shit results, right? And yes, I will be comedy and I'll be funny and I'll swear. It's to drill it fucking into you, because the dirtier a cue is or the funnier I am, usually the more it'll hit home. So whenever we have shit results and you have no social proof, you have no belief in your service, because you go, I'm fucking shit at this. I'm fucking not good. And when you have no faith, you can guarantee they have fuck all faith in your service. And then that doesn't build your proof, it doesn't build your trust. Whereas if you only have one thing in your business, and it's the fact that you can guarantee that person, like hand on heart, I can go, if you join my coaching program and you do everything I say, I guarantee you will change your life. If you can't say that with conviction, what the fuck? You're calling. And that's it, being blunt. You need to go learn, you need to hire somebody. That's what I done. I just hired whoever's the coach. I'm like, they fucking know their shit. They seem on the ball. Now, some of them will be, come in, they'll not know fucking shit, and you'll join, you'll be like, this is a mess. But a lot of the time you will go, tuned in individual, you'll learn, you pick up more, and then you move. And remember, you're never looking at me, Stephen, anyone to reinvent the wheel. You're looking golden nuggets. Whenever you get enough 1% off other people, that's when the biggest difference to your business happens. It's not like I'm going to say one thing and you're going to go, that's it. That's the fucking goal. It's not. It's one step by step by step, 1%, 1%, 1%. It's all the way golden nuggets. They add up over time. Now, when the client doesn't see value, they leave. They leave because there's no value, no vision. They don't leave because inflation or they're saving for a house. They leave because there's not a big enough reason to stay. It's as simple as that. And they think you don't care. As I said earlier, they think you're just sitting twiddling your fucking thumbs and it's just a shit show and it's a one-star service. And when you have no clients, no sales, no faith, it just leaves this absolute gap. And we've got the solution, and it's really, really simple. It's going to be accountability strategies for your clients. Now, a lot of you are going to do this, and a lot of you are going to be very, very some of you are going to be really good at this, and some of you are going to be doing some of these things, but one of them you might not be. And then that's the difference between another 5 clients staying for the year and not. And then that's the hassle of more calls and more fucking stress. And that could be the difference between one of them big results that makes the big difference. So number one, check-ins with keywords, right? We're talking about using keywords, not just a check-in. Hey, thanks for checking in. You know, you're great. Use words where if I turn around to you and I constantly say this word, potential, because I know it lights people up. I say it to him all the time because I know it fucking fires him up. I'm like, there's so much more potential. There's like, you could be standing in front, you could be talking. I'm giving him value, I'm giving him vision. We talked about him talking at an event, now he's talking. And the same with all my coaching clients. I'm like, now you don't need to freak the person out and turn around and go, I see you on stage in 3 years, and this person's like, I've never curled a fucking dumbbell in my life. But using keywords that you wanted to hear, because 90% of people in here will be coaching their own target demographic. You usually coach people who are like you. I coach people that come out of uni, taking a load of drugs, they're just starting to coach. Joe, that's the sort of way it always is. Or they're a wee bit lost, they're unsure. So they love keywords like, I see so much more in you. I see potential, because see, when I was coming out of that, that's what I wanted to hear. That is the exact thing I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear there's more there, there's more money, there's more freedom, your life is meaning, your life is purpose. They all keywords with me. Whereas, if, for example, if you coach really large individuals that are trying to lose weight and you go, I've done it and I felt like this, as you were saying, the walk by the mirror in the shop, that's never came to my mind. It never did. But the beauty is he can relate to that person so much more, and it adds up massively. So think of the key words that you wanted to hear or your client does and feed them, because that's going to not only make them stay longer, it's going to make them go, Fucking right, and they'll have faith in you. Number 2, how many of you do more than one check-in a week with your client? Not touch point. I'm talking about check-in where you make changes. Bingo. Yeah. Sometimes you will need to do this with people all the time. Like a really good example is I'm coaching Keegan, you don't mind me sharing. Accountability was a wee bit off. I check him in 3 times a week at the minute. And one's on a Sunday. Do you think I want to fucking do that on a Sunday? No. But do I want that result more than him? Yeah, fucking right I do, because he's a big name. He's going to get a good result. If he's fucking starting shredded, it's going to add to my business. And Keegan will be the first person to say, I want the result as bad as him. I fucking really do, because otherwise I would have turned around and goes, nah, fuck, I'm not doing it. Sunday morning I'd be messaging him at 7 a.m. going, well, what the fuck crack? And he's like, what the fuck's this cunt at? I want it. Midweek check-ins is more important than just every Tuesday, it's just routine. No, not enough. So don't be afraid to layer things the fuck up. And 3, touch points on top. Touch points at specific time periods of the week, they're most likely to fuck up. Why do you think I do it on a Sunday morning? Anyone? What are you doing on Saturday mainly? Yeah, bingo. If I know you work weekends, when do you think you're getting all your accountability from me? If you work nights, time it to that person and tell them that. Don't go, I'm doing this just for the crack. Go, I'm doing it because you usually fuck up on a Saturday, so we're doing Sundays. And they go, fucking cunt. But they thank you in the long run. But when you say that, tailored, and I always say, there's no other coach who'd do this for you. I fucking say it because I know rightly they wouldn't. Send MyFitnessPal screenshots. See if a client is not losing weight and making progress. Ask for photos of food. Ask for screenshots of MyFitnessPal. Ask them, don't have time for steps, send me your screen time. They won't send you the screen time because they're scrolling their fucking arses instead of walking. Simple as that. And it's being blunt. And then see when you take the stress, because they'll go, it's not me, I don't have enough time, you're not telling us enough. Can't you on Instagram for 4 hours a night? Get the fuck out and walk. And it's being blunt. It is being fucking blunt because that's what they're paying for you. But tell them that. Go, I am doing this for you. I'm the same, I fall in the same traps as you. But whenever you layer up, do you know what that does? It means it's not your fault, it's theirs. See when it's their fault, they'll stay. See when it's your fault, they'll leave and the tablet is yours. So there needs to be an emphasis on that. That's not on you, it's on them. Because if a client doesn't get, like, fuck me, it's so easy to get somebody shredded. Like, as much as it's not eat less and do more, it's slowly cut calories, slowly add steps, slowly add cardio. That's it. I could write that on a post-it note and you could all do that. And if somebody stuck to that, you probably get before and after not long. Problem is, there's not enough accountability, there's not enough mindset, there's not enough layering of levels. Oh, well, I'm checking him every week, he won't do it. First 3 clients I had, first person, I trained in person for you. I cooked his fucking lunches Monday to Friday. I cooked them for him, brought them to the beach where we worked together. Do you think I want to do that? No. Did I get paid for it? No. Didn't even get paid for his coaching. But now I'm reaping the rewards years later. You'll not reap it straight away. You'll be like, this is too much work. You will always over-deliver at the start. Anybody start a new job and you get fucking slaughtered. They make you do everything, all this shit. You're cleaning toilets, it's fucking muck. 3 years in then, you're like, new fella, you fucking clean the bogs, fuck us. That's exactly what it is with coaching. As soon as you level up, if you lean in enough, you move up and you do less. Like the workout load I do for my one-to-one clients now compared to what I used to is night and day different. Send pictures or videos of the gym. See loads of people's clients. Don't send them training videos, right? When you explain why you want them, right, mate, you've been on 4 months, you haven't changed shape. Oh, well, that's your program. Send me a video of your training. And I go, is that a set? What the fuck was that? Like, there's no intensity. And then you immediately, that puts the emphasis on the client because it's not on you because they haven't been sent the videos. So it's not playing the blame game because realistically, you want to build muscle. What do you need to do? Train hard. What are they not doing? Not training hard. How do you do that? How do you do that without standing over the motherfucker and going, another rep? You get videos. And if I asked any of you to send me, if I ask you to send me a video of you training right now, you're going to go harder in the set or not? Harder, straight away. And then the intensity layers. Whereas, yes, it creates more work for you, but if you explain to them, I am getting these videos of you, that is actually creating more work for me, and you're still not doing it. It layers them up, and you might be like, oh, well, this puts stress on my clients. My clients don't like the videos themselves in the gym and this and that. They have no choice if they want the muscle. It means that much to me. People used to laugh at me whenever I used to go in and do 20 kilo dumbbells, and I used to strap 1 kilo to the side of it, video it and send it to my coach. Same fellas hire me for coaching now. Same fellas all the time come over in the gym, and that is the difference. Send pictures of foods and walks. I think a really good example is there is people in here I won't mention, but because it's personal, they send me messages when they wake up because they're getting up too late. Simple as that. And if they don't send me a message, I message them and go, what the fuck? I have a couple one-to-one clients now at the minute. They're like struggling to get food in. I goes, what time are you getting up at? 10. I goes, 10? What the fuck are you doing? And the thing is now, he sends me photos of his food, 8 a.m. every morning. Do I want to see a fucking bowl of porridge off my client every morning at 8 a.m.? No. Do I want to see the biceps that motherfucker has on my Instagram? Damn fucking right. And the thing is, do you think another coach is going to do that for him? Do you think another coach is going to go message me your breakfast every morning at 8 a.m. on a Sunday? My family's out last weekend. I'm sitting doing messages at 8 a.m. and you're going, oh, that's not quality of life. I'm paying for them to come out. My family don't mind me working an hour to turn around and check things. And if anybody's laid a brick on a fucking building site, that is hard work. Replying to a WhatsApp message of a bowl of porridge with a thumbs up going, great job, mate. Not hard. So a lot of people need to catch a fucking grip of what hard work actually is. I used to run in a burning building for £12 a fucking hour. But send pictures of foods, walks. We're talking about accountability. Layer it up. Send me your dinner every single night. I don't give a fuck. Send me screenshots of MyFitnessPal. I want to see you out walking. Send me a screenshot. I ask clients all the time after a photo shoot, send me pictures of food. Send me pictures of this. It layers things up. And you might, even if you're coached by me in here, I'll have used some of these. I haven't had to use them all. If I've had to use all these strategies on you, you've been an absolute fucking melter. That's me being straight. But the thing is, if I've used them all on you, I can guarantee you got a result though. Because I just layer through them. So some people this will be overkill. If your client's smashing it, you do not need a picture of every single meal. But if the client's turn around, you're going, I'm hungry, I'm struggling to stick to that, and you're like, motherfucker's on 2,000 calories. He shouldn't be hungry. Send a picture of food, I'm eating loads of veg, and you look at the plate and you go, there's fucking 3 carrots on it, mate. So that layers things up. It's one of them things like if I turn around and I go, I want you to post your content every day, and I also want it DM to me. Chances of you posting content every day go way up because there's accountability. It's what you're paying for. And it also comes down to pricing as well when you think about it. If you paid us 30 quid a month, you implement way less. You pay us a decent whack, you feel the pressure, you go, holy fuck. Facebook group challenges to motivate with prizes. Majority of people don't do a Facebook group in here, not because I don't have enough clients, because they're lazy and they don't want their job to do. Simple as that. Reason I didn't want it, couldn't be fucked, more hassle, more effort, and you feel like it's not worthwhile. If we were mentoring you on a one-to-one basis, yes, there is pros, and you're like, that is tailored and that is this. You don't build connection, you don't build trust, you don't build community, you don't build actual wins. You wouldn't see somebody hit a 40K a month. You wouldn't see somebody hit a 10K. You wouldn't see somebody move from Nexus up. It motivates you as well. If anybody feels intimidated, that's your own mindset. But the thing is, a Facebook group adds. It also means if you put in a video going, like, let's pair things up. Like I have people in the app and they're going for walks in Sydney in groups of 10. That would never happen. Ever. And you might think, oh, well, I've only 10 clients. They build friendships. And if they leave, that friendship will go, and they'll not realize that, but that happens. So it's one of the things it builds more. It's one of the things where that's the common ground. And challenges as well. Like, do you think I want to give £1,000 to the winner of the female app or the male app, or pay for a photo shoot of a client, or pay? No. But when you put money in, you always get money back. And see, whenever I think like that, I always double down. I know another coach isn't going to want to spend the money on flying a videographer out, or paying for the content, or paying for a content coach, or standing in the gym with a mic. Doing that extra thing, or whenever you're like, oh, maybe I won't do it. See, doing that, that's the difference. That's the reason you will either do well or not. But thinking, right, how do I motivate these? Do I give them a day? Like if I turn around and goes, right, last man standing for content, I give 10 grand a, by fuck, that's going to be a tough competition because it motivates the fuck out of people. Whereas if I turn around and go, last man standing, yeah, good for you. Doesn't motivate. Some people are extremely motivated by money, and then you get results, but it can be anything. But a Facebook group's very important as well. People do be accountable in it. You might think, oh, this and that, but whenever they have no choice, they will. And I think this is a really key one. A deep dive probing with voice notes as to what the fuck is going on. See simply saying, what's going on? Why aren't you checking in? Do you know there's usually a reason. Like if you aren't checking in with a coach, there's usually something going on the back end. And whether or not they let you deep dive is completely down to the relationship you built with them. If you've been absolutely fucking shitty useless with them and you've not built a connection, whenever you actually ask them, how are you? They're not opening up because you haven't got the foundation and you're trying to gather now because they're going to drop off. Whereas if you build a connection and I turn around and go, how are you really? Like, really, like, are you okay? Straight away, they'll just spew it. And then it comes through, I'm stressed, work, wife, whatever it is, it comes straight out. And this all comes down to the main factor of you need to care properly, not just about the client, but relating to them. Like, remember what it's like to be them, overwhelmed, unsure about macros, paying somebody you don't really know, thinking, is this going to fucking work? And highlight you struggle, and you still do. Like, the first thing I was talking to Lauren there about is after shoot, I was like, how's your food focus? And you were like, yeah, it's fucking bad. And I was like, yeah, it's terrible, isn't it? I know exactly how it fucking feels. Straight away, you might be like, oh, that sounds like he's not got to puts us in common ground. Whenever you put yourself on a pedestal, as Kieran said, it puts you in a different light. Whereas you want to explain how you've overcame the challenges and that it adds up. And you have to want the result more than them. You have to. Think of it like your bread. Like, I used to only take on one client at a time for the first 18 months. You imagine how important that result was to me. That's the only one I got. And it's so key. Like, I've been here, I felt like this, I didn't have time, I didn't change, and my result got worse. Like, a really good example is my first coach, done 8 weeks with me, shredded me, and then I was like, yeah, I know everything, I'm fucking sorted, I'm going to launch my online coaching business, blah, blah, blah. I left him, and he didn't tell me the truth. What he should have turned around and goes, you've done 8 weeks, Junior, it's 56 days, you don't have a fucking baldies, you should stay another year. So I left for a year, actually got fatter, got unfitter, lost muscle. I don't know how it was even fucking possible because I was training so much. I actually couldn't have done it if I tried. And the thing is, because he didn't have the honesty and the accountability to actually tell me, I went back to him a year later and I always was like, why didn't you tell me? Because he sat me down for coffee and was like, I knew that was going to happen. And I goes, well, didn't you fucking tell me? I just wasted a year. Because he was like, oh, well, I didn't want to annoy you. And I'm like, I'm more annoyed now. Whereas I would have had faith in him if he had turned around and goes, Joe, X, Y, and Z. And I tell people, I'm like, I'm not looping you into more coaching. I'm trying to help you because this has happened to me. And then see when they hear that, they're like, that actually makes sense. He's a good person. Versus this cunt's trying to get me on a direct debit because he's a money-hungry cunt, and that's built off your relationship with the person. Like, the way I speak right now, you can tell I'm passionate about it. You can tell that I'm fucking in for results because that's the thing that changed my life. Whenever I got a six-pack, it wasn't the six-pack that changed my life. It was the fact that the work ethic and getting something for the first time in my life changed everything. I wouldn't be here otherwise. If I wasn't doing them shitty crunches in my garage when my mum was cooking the dinner over me, I wouldn't be here. So it adds up. When realistically, it was on me to take responsibility for it, and it's on you to take responsibility for your clients. See, if a client is not getting a result, not on them. They're paying you for it, all right? Yes, now, there might not be the right time, there never will be for everybody, right? So it's one of them things where you'll hear, like, there is time periods where, like, say somebody's having a fucking kid. Maybe not the right time to dad them. Joe, be smart, be tactical. But there never will be, and make sure you highlight that. There's never a right time to build a business. There's never a right time to dial in. But we need to dial back and focus on habits and routines. So say, for example, if a client is going to leave you or you're struggling to get a result with them, or there's something going on in their life, like say their auntie has cancer, like the way mine did, let's dial back, let's focus on routine, let's focus on not moving backwards. What works for you that we're still moving? Because if you leave, or you're thinking about quitting, and I say it because you can tell, like, how many of you can feel it in the air when the client's going to leave? Like, you know what I'm talking about? You're like, yeah, you can tell they're starting to ghost messages, they're slower plan, there's just that, like, or you can tell this motherfucker's locked in, he's never leaving, and they don't. And the thing is, feeling that out and then going, right, why is this happening? Being able to have that conversation and loop that client back in for longer all comes down to the relationship and how it's been. It's why I ask loads of my clients, how's things outside of training? How's your mood? How's your energy? What's going on with you on a weekly basis? And see, 9 times out of 10, they all go, no, A1, all's good. And it sounds like a then all of a sudden somebody goes, my girlfriend's giving me a really fucking hard time, any advice? And they open up. And yes, it takes maybe 2 or 3 minute voice note, but you know what's a lot more fucking annoying? Posting content, doing DMs for sales, doing sales calls, and fucking being melted by all that shit. Whereas I'm actually making a difference in that person's life because he's able to have a conversation with me about his fucking girlfriend. And it's usually something so subtle. It's something so small. It's so easy. All that advice, and we're not life coaches. But Nate didn't know what that was. We're not life coaches, but a small bit of advice, like, it's so easy. If I ask you for fucking advice in my relationship, you can give me it in 10 minutes. I don't know what's going on down there at all. There's probably strangling a baby. But If I ask you for advice, it's so easy to give advice because it's not your problem. Don't know what's going on down there. But pretty much, if you need to dial back for the clients, dial back and go, right, let's focus on hitting protein, hitting calories, building your calories up. Let's not that right now, because some people won't be able to that at that time period in their life. So let's set new realistic expectations. Do you agree? Do you think that's right? How about we just focus on nailing your training, your steps, and it loops them in. Keeps them there. You're accountable until they're ready. And then go, right, when do you think would be a good time to dial back in? What about August? Now they're staying for 2 months. They're actually doing fuck all. You're building their calories. You're getting paid for it. But you actually are making a real big difference in their life because you're making sure they don't move backwards. That is just as important. Like 90% of your clients that leave you, they're not really ready to leave. As much as people go, oh, you know, if your clients have to stay a year, you know, they're not really being educated enough. Most people aren't going to be in an accountable strategy to themselves for years. If I left my coach right now, I wouldn't be in the same shape I am now. So we be smart, we take it step by step, and don't worry, there's not much more of this left, because if we need to wrap up for lunch, I can take a break. Slow progress is fine, as long as you highlight to the individual that it's going to be slow and steady. Whereas if you're telling them, Joe, you're still going to get a mental result, they're going to be overwhelmed, or they're going to be underwhelmed whenever they see fuck all. So I think this is a really good thing I got from Dan, and I actually really rate this. Standards. Setting client standards, no matter how good or how bad it is. So I have a standard for myself. Don't miss sessions. Haven't missed one since I dislocated my shoulder and got back. I think it's 6 years. Don't miss them. It's just my standard. But for your clients, you might do, you never miss 3 days in a row. You never have two per meals back to back. That's the standard he sets. That one just sits in my head. I think that's a really nice one. But having your own standards for your clients. Like, it might just be something as simple as like, no 2 meals, Joe, we train 3 times a week. You always train 3 times a week, no matter what. That's just the standard. And you make them agree to it. And it sounds so basic, but it means on the shit weeks, they're not completely shit, because a meal off, they just lose a week's progress. A binging spree over a weekend because you haven't set standards is a fucking siege, because now the fucker has to lose the weight from that week, and it adds time on and disbelief. Whereas if you can cut out, if you can almost preempt, it's like, I always use fire fucking things, but like, so putting a smoke alarm in somebody's house instead of putting out the fire, the smoke alarm is a lot fucking better than dragging the fucker out the window every single time. So it's just setting standards that massively help you. And number 9, don't know if any of you have ever done one, a reset, realign, or recommit call. The reason for this, if you know a client's going to drop off, meet them for coffee. It's a lot, like I have a client, Chris, pretty much was on 2 years, could tell he was going to drop off. I was like, I'll meet him for coffee anyway. Met him for coffee. At the end of the coffee, he'd paid me a year up front. He went to the bank machine, actually paid me for a full year, went to the bank and took out money and paid. No, I didn't ask him for it, but the coffee meant that much to him. And I goes to him, what was the crack with that? And he was like, oh yeah, well, like, I don't know, just so much value. I was just like, oh, I couldn't leave you. A really good example as well is like setting gifts, simple things like that. We'll dive in this, but the reset, realign, and recommit call is resetting the client about a new goal, right? And resetting the client so that they're not in a shit mind frame anymore. They're amped up for fitness, because you know yourself, you lose the love for it. You can't be arse tracking calories. It doesn't mean enough. You've got family events going on. So resetting them and fucking lighting them up. So you need to be on good energy in this. You can do it randomly. You can just ring them. Realign new goals. They might have wanted to get shredded for a holiday, and now it doesn't really mean that much. And they might, for example, anybody that's been on me one-to-one and then they've joined Nexus or the membership, I start talking about, right, yeah, we were doing it for before and afters and yourself. Now we're doing it to fuel your business, because the better shape you're going to be in, the more clients you're going to pick up. Realigns your goals, but it keeps you hooked in. So it tailors to you. It's just like, Joe, right, yes, we've lost all the weight, but let's focus on making fitness complement your life, not complicate it now. It's redefining the goals to that client as they progress. Just as Kieran was saying, they're not the same person they were 4 months ago when they joined you. They might turn around and go, I fucking hate this. These macros are bullshit. This is fucking wank. I don't want to track. Right, can we realign new goals that suit your lifestyle? And then that's tailored. See, the problem with coaching is a lot of the time people think, I'm going to tailor this training plan. I'm going to tailor your weights in every single week. That is wank. That's not tailored. Tailored is fine. Me giving you 3 the same training plan for the first 12 weeks, if you all want to grow upper body, that's not tailored. That is tailored. Your goal's the fucking same. Me sitting there on my laptop being like, oh, I'll tweak him to bicep curls and him to that. That is me trying to justify why my service is shit on that level, just so you're aware, right? So it's one of the things where if you're fighting, you're doing things like that, you're doing that to justify yourself. Your client doesn't even know that. Majority of people don't know they're getting the same. And tailored is whenever they have a problem or you sense something, it's tailored then. For example, you three want to grow biceps and I give you all different training plans. That's actually unfair because somebody's split is probably better than the rest. Whereas if I go, you all want to grow biceps, I have this unbelievable Dalton bicep split. Giving you all the same training plans actually sound. Because I remember I had a coach do that before, me and another person, and the other person in the gym was cracking up, and I was like, no, it's a good sign, because if you give you a different training split to me, I'd be going, why the fuck have I got this one? So, simple things like that add up, but recommit is really important. It's getting them to say, I'll try, suck my balls. I will do it. You told me you will do it. You're going to fucking do it. Now, I sound over the top, but language, strong v weak, is what makes the difference. And it's one of the things, don't worry, lunch is coming now, so this is not long at all, so I'll actually get this wrapped up. You can use this if someone's leaving or if we need to fully reset. See if you're thinking to yourself, I can't be fucked doing a reset call. You ain't gonna last. Simple as that, look. I don't time. No, you don't want it enough. The money doesn't mean enough to you, the coaching doesn't mean enough. You want to be sitting in more bed, twiddling your thumbs. Reset the mindset, realign new realistic goals, recommit to the plan. Remember, when they recommit, it's like marriage, doesn't end. Make them agree they will nail it. No, I will try. Other tactics, right? Double down. Really good example. Ryan McDonald's joined the mentorship, so this is the perfect example. I wish he was here. He's coming on Sunday. But really good example is Ryan's my longest term client, right? He done 2 years with me. I always use him as an example every single time. He done 2 years with me, and I could sense it. I could feel it. So I goes, I'm going to go for a dip with him. I went for a dip. And I sent Roby to his house. Roby cost 25 quid. That was 3 years ago. Ryan's still on with me, and Ryan's also joined the mentorship. So Roby cost me 27 quid, and the dip cost me 2 hours time. If I add up how much Ryan has paid me in the extra 3 years, it was worth my fucking time. Now, don't get me wrong, he's a really good friend. We built a connection, and that makes a big difference. But if you're doing that with all your clients, your life becomes easier. Do you think my check-in with Ryan is long, or do you think it's fucking 3 words? It's fucking nothing. It's literally a text message. Well, bro, how's the week going? He checks himself in. Still pays me because I'm such a big impact on his life. And that's all down to the first, realistically, 90 days. If you over-deliver in the first 90 days, you have to do fuck all else. If you under-deliver, you're chasing your tail throughout. So the service has to be where people come in and go, holy fuck, this is unbelievable. If they come in and go, what the fuck is going on in here? This is a shit show. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's embarrassing. Do you know what I mean? It's like whenever you walk into a restaurant and imagine the front of it being real nice and you go in and there's shite seats. It's like the front of the hotel. You come in here and the chairs are all mixy-matchy. You'd be like, what the fuck's this? I'm not coming back. But simple things like sending gifts, something personal. It can be something as cheap as a book. It can be something as simple as they mention, oh, I need to go here. They're doing a photo shoot. Send them an outfit. Send them anything. Ask them to meet for a coffee. It just needs to be unique. The more a handwritten note on a book, enough. Meet them for sessions. It's so simple. Host events. See if you have 3 clients. You're really good at this. You had like a client event. There was only 4 or 5, wasn't there? I can guarantee you, like your retention's definitely solid, isn't it? Yeah, like they're not leaving, aren't they? No. There's only 4 or 5 of them. How close do you think they're getting as individuals to each other? And then see when somebody gets added, it's not like you stand over there. It's like into the group. Fuck, this is like health, fitness. This is a whole, Jesus Christ. This is a whole new sort of, I don't know his password, so we're not getting back in there. So it's one of them things where, and he's disappeared. But it's one of them things where that for me is the difference between whether you make it as a coach or not. That's why like whenever I see that, I'm like, I know so many people that don't do that. Oh, my client lives in Belfast and I live in Newry. You've got a car, motherfucker, or drive. Simple as that. Simple as that. But I'm editing content. That's the difference. That is the small percentages that add up. Like I remember, like Tommy's my very first client. Yes, he was my friend. But like the fact of I could know, now fair enough, I was cooking a lot of the meals, but it's one of them things of, Stephen, will you hit this back on for me? Yeah, don't worry. I don't want to know your password anyway. And don't shout it. He's actually had a nightmare, I'm not lying. Somebody's been hacking his Facebook the last few days, so we were having a nightmare because I were like the mentorship page.
Actually, my password 30 times in one day.
Nightmare. But just see simple things like that. Even if it's only 3 clients or 1 client for a coffee, you think you're going to do a sales call for an hour anyway. Meeting that client's going to save you. If you're traveling, do it while you're there. do it while you're home, whatever it is, a Zoom call. And it really leads down to this. That is literally my fucking slogan. See, when you join me, I want the result more than you. I want you on my fucking feed because it gives me everything in my life that I want. Now, yes, you can bring a horse to water. You can't make it drink. But see, being brutally honest, I always recast this. I'm going to dunk your fucking head in the water and make you drink. Simple as that. That's how much I want the result. And it's really important. See, if you don't, you just aren't going to last. There's too many people working too hard at the likes of content who are going to, like, for example, say you have 1,000 followers and PDK has 400,000, right? They're going to see him in higher authority. They're going to see results. They're going to see his page more and think, fuck authority. What is going to make you stand out versus that? Service, quality results, actually giving a fuck. Now, I'm not saying you don't give a fuck. I know you do. But I'm saying in terms of that's how you're going to build your business. It's how I picked up clients. It's how anyone. But don't be afraid to dunk the fucking horse's head in the water, and I fucking mean that. You need to firstly highlight it's not you checking, so make sure that you do relate that to them. You need to explain you're doing your part, they need to do the fucking their half, and don't worry, we're wrapping up now. But could you honestly say everything I've told you right now, there's a wee tiny bit more, like, would you be like, fuck, I'm confident I'm implementing all that? Like, would anybody be...
Definitely things that get picked up.
Yeah, like you might be doing bits of it, but you're like, oh, do you know what, like the meetups. And that's why I'm actually really glad everyone's here together because, like, for example, like, let's see what Clean's doing. I don't really see too much of that off anyone. And don't get me wrong, there's bits and pieces, like you're training with people.
Yeah, I train them.
Adds up massively. Put yourself in your client's shoes. Like, if I turn around to any of you right now and go, meet me in Real Club Padel on Tuesday, we're going to shoot content. You go, fuck, that's quality. You're way less likely to leave because I've over-delivered. You need to over-deliver. Just 2 seconds. A service that gives you self-belief. Like, see when somebody turns around to me and goes, if somebody writes under my Instagram feed and goes, you don't deserve to coach, I go, suck my balls. Not a mission. I'm so empowered by it that I'm like, I know my service is good. If you leave my service, you ain't getting better elsewhere. Simple as that. If you can't hands down say that, you're a wee bit snookered. And that's the only reason I held your question back, because I knew it was coming. I was like, I'm almost done. I know that's been high energy. If anybody wants to dive into a small Q&A, because lunch is here, so I'm not going to... We can do questions even after, but if you just want to do a couple quickly, go ahead.
Right, so I definitely over-deliver for my clients if they get a bit when they sign up to get a full board actually they're trying to meet up every month. They're going for their Christmas party, they're out for an overnight stay and like dinner and all that sort of stuff. And
That's superb.
well, they get clients, they get one-on-one calls as much to make them 3 touch points a week, team call every week, they get fucking everything. There are still people who I literally have to get, I would nearly have to turn up at their door and be like, what the fuck, where are you?
That's target demographic. It's who you're speaking to. You're attracting that individual that's a useless cunt. Really good example. I attract photo shoot clients. Do you think they're any hassle? Nah, fuck all. It's the reason I speak to that person.
I know, like, well, my target demographic is who I used to be, and that was a nightmare client.
Yeah, but then if you're struggling with them individuals, all you can do is use the tactics I gave you. Once you've used them, you are, like, I will say dunk the head, but like you can end up, the cunt might still not drink, you might drown. But at least but you know what happens, and I always say this, and the reason I use that analogy is because I find it so beneficial, because you stick that horse's head in the water, it's either going to drink or it's going to drown, right? And the beauty is, see if it drowns, it leaves. And when it leaves, you get energy. See when a client like that leaves, kick them the fuck out the door. Get rid of that. That one bad fucking bit ruins the pot. So it's one of the things, like we all know, you come to the check-ins, right? And you open up your check-ins today and you're all like, yeah, good fucking energy, let's go. And you see that name and you're like, oh, fuck, you need to go last. You need to go last. I don't have time for you. You're, oh, fuck. And you're like, oh.
It's like, I know I'm delivering like a bang-up service. I know it couldn't be given anymore.
Yeah, well then you just turn around and set straight. You go, you have X date to ship up or ship the fuck out because I don't need the money. And they'll respect you more. And they will. Some of them will ship up and some will ship out. And do you know the people that do ship out? They usually come back. And they usually come back and think, that's pretty much this anyway. But it's one of them things where, for me, that's the way I do it. You give them a set date. If I turn around to you and I go, look, you have 30 days to clean up your act or you're out, and I cancel your direct debit, that's not on you. Okay. Versus you just collecting payment because you're collecting payment. Sounds good. Yeah. What sounds a lot worse is, oh, I've been on with Tony for 2 years.
Yeah, no,
Motherfucker, you look the same.
yeah. And then,
Joe, looks worse. The talk.
outlining expectations at the beginning of their thing with that and just saying, listen, I don't care if you fry my head, I'm going to
There's a balance.
Obviously, but like the one thing I will not tolerate is you not replying.
Simple. Yeah, you set the standards. Just like we were saying, that's a standard you set whenever you come on board. You always must reply. If you do not reply within 3-4 days to me, now fair enough, Joe, but there's,
Of course, I get people who are busy,
yeah.
but I get that message
You just set your standards and you'll be sweet.
in a row, I'm not getting back. You're back to me, and I'm just kind of like, no, this is
Nah, so you don't reply 3 or 4 times. Like if they pay the first 12 weeks up front, I'll message them every week and go, where's your check-in, bro? Just so I'm covered. But there's only so much you can do there. Joe, I get people who sign up and don't even check in.
So see, when it comes to that, and I know that I couldn't be doing anymore, and I know my service is good, but due to my demographic, I do maybe have a higher.
But then over time you will fill out with the good and you'll be more selective because then you can see who's good and who's not. You're always going to get melters. Everybody in here, no matter who you coach, I still pick up melters. You're going to get them. They come hidden.
That you think aren't going to lock in, and then they're getting the best.
Yeah, exactly.
They surprise both of you. Like that's.
They come in and some of your best clients turn into the melters and all. It happens. People rotate. Depends.
People just need a reality check. You said to me 2 weeks ago about it, and I got on a call with that fella and I said, listen, either do what we say or you're right.
Yeah, so was that.
And
Respect
he's
you
cleaned
more.
up his act and he's been incredible. He says, this is exactly what I needed.
That's what and the thing is, he'll respect you far more for having the nuds to do that, like, versus like it's very easy to collect a paycheck for a couple months. But the thing is, your lifetime value of that customer will be far more. He'll stay longer now, and that's really what that's all about. It's about how do you get as much impact into somebody's life, and whenever you give as much impact as you possibly can, you'll get paid more. As simple as that. But there's only so much you can do, and trust me, like if you're doing all that, you're doing plenty. So just have the faith to turn around and go, you have X date. Nah, that's a self-limiting belief. You need Kieran to turn around. That's where you need to turn around and go. You need to turn around and go. The only reason you feel like that is because you're saying, I'm not good enough. I'm inexperienced enough. There's all these reasons. Now you need to write a list of. I don't know if you ever listened to Mo Gada. He's on Stephen Barton's podcast, quite good. But I always relate to him. For every negative emotion you have, you need 10 reasons why it's the positive. So see when you go, I'm not doing enough, you need 10 reasons why you are doing enough and write it out. And then once you have 10, that balances the one. If you think, because one negative emotion, we're hardwired for negativity, you need 10 positives. So if you think, I'm not good enough, my relationship's shit, Joe, they have the life, you need 10 reasons why your life is better, and then that balances the court. So just so you know, more than welcome, I dive into that. Does anybody else have any other questions before we break for lunch? Go ahead.
Do you have no way you give like they're on a kind of holiday? Do you have like a system in place to like keep track of all that?
Yeah, it's all on Trello.
Yeah.
I have clients' names of their dogs and everything, personal notes that they tell me, because your dog's going in for surgery and I know the name of it and the day and I send you a message. Like, obviously, like it's one of them things where you don't realize how attached people are to dogs until you have one. But if my dog was, like my dog took a wee mini stroke the other week, see if my coach had have been like, Joe, blah, 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 and then bring that up, I'm like, fuck, do you know what, like that person really cares. And then that builds a connection that whenever I have an issue, I can go to them. Whenever I had issues in my personal life, I actually felt like Joe, my coach, was the person I could go to. And he's got a fucking dagger tattooed on the side of his fucking head. But the thing was, connection was built. So I leaned towards him. Do you think I'm leaving his coaching? Stephen asked me the other night, do you think you'll ever leave Joe? You've been for 3 years. And I goes, he is there till I'm in the grave. I'm that close to the individual. So like, like I need to be like that for my clients. That's the way I need to be. And it's not he does major, like he does fuck all of my check-ins. He sends me bullet points. I don't get anything else. But when I need him, he's there. But because it was done in the first 3 months. But it's all on Trello. I keep track of everything. Everybody's green, amber, red. Everybody in here is green, amber, reds in different boxes for us. I make side notes all the time. I have loads of notes on my phone on people as well, where it covers that. Like I'm like, I write straight stuff. I'd be like, amber, no reason in particular, cunt's being lazy. And then it's not me being rude and calling somebody a cunt. It's just like, it jogs me to go, that's the reason they're struggling. It's not to do with the right content or me. It's because they're simply not posting. Like, really good example, Kieran, I turned around to you the other day when we were up at M13. You were like, I know what I need to do. You were saying, I need to post it. And I goes, yeah, because you're lazy. You don't need me to sugarcoat it. Lazy, wouldn't post every day. That's it. That you don't need, until you kneel posting every single day, you don't need nothing else. It's like clients turning around and going, supplements, this and that. You ain't kneeling your calories, son. You're eating fucking ice cream 2 days a week. Don't worry about what creatine is. Not needed. And it's the same with like that there, like if you're over delivering to your clients on every front, you don't need to worry about that's all icing on the cake if it makes sense. But see, the more you keep on top of them and the more you build a connection, there's a balance. If you become a friend, it can be tricky and people say they leave because of that and there's not that accountability. But for the first year and a half, you'll get away being the friend because they'll want to impress you, if that makes sense. But Trello is where I keep everything for that. And I have like what days I'm doing what touch points with who's struggling, who needs contacting these days, who's getting the extra check-ins. And people be like, that's so much stress. What's a lot more stress is whenever you're not making fucking 400 or 500 grand a year. And whenever you are, you're like, I don't mind fucking clicking on Trello. This is fucking handy. Look, Joe, he's green, he's red, I'm not going out to fucking lay bricks. I'm not going back to my 9 to 5 and fucking the computer, because if you want to go back there, you work away. I'll sit in Trello in the sun in Marbella and do my check-ins. Not fucking hard work. If any of you have worked hard. Yeah, so hopefully that answers. I can give you more systems or Loom videos or whatever you need now. It's actually very simple. It just needs to work for you. It could be fucking, like I remember whenever I was in people's houses and they're like, Shamey has everybody's name on a whiteboard and it's just literally just a wee tick or X. It doesn't mean anything. It just means good and shit. That's just how he knows who's doing shit and good, and he checks the shit ones in on Thursday again. That's it. Simple, effective, works, and he knows who's really shit. He gives them double X's. Do you know what I mean? That works. That's all he needs to know. And then he makes me side notes on his whiteboard and wipes it off every week and restarts. Perfect. Any other cues?
That was fun. Last year's.
Thank you very much.